A manufacturing company with exactly 20 factories uses a letter coding system to represent each factory. If each factory is represented either by a single letter or by a pair of two distinct letters, what is the least number of letters that can be used to represent all 20 factories, assuming that order of the letters does not matter? Okay. So if you understand there are 20 factories, right? And there is a coding system which is to be given to these 20 factories, and each has to be different code for these. So 20 codes are to be generated for these 20 factories, right? And each code, what is each code made up of? Either a single letter it should be, or it should be a pair of distinct letters, pair of distinct letters. Now if you understand, let's say if there are three letters, right? There are 20 factories. Let's say if we start with three letters there to understand the question. Let's say if there are three letters ABC, okay? So how many codes can be generated to understand just the question format? So the single letters, how can that be formed? Three alphabets can generate three codes. That means out of this three letters, three single codes can be generated, three codes for three factories, or means to add distinct pairs. Now, how many pairs you can form out of these three objects? Out of these three, two can be picked in how many ways? That will be 3C2 ways. So if there are three objects or three alphabets or three distinct letters which are there, so how many codes can be generated? That is 3 plus 3C2, and that is 3 plus 3 times 3 times 2 divided by 2. 3C2, that is 3 times 2 divided by 2. Why? Because quick understanding, if you have NC2, okay, so you can write NC2 as n into n minus 1 divided by 2. So if you have 3C2, you can easily write it as 3 times 3 minus 1, that is 2 divided by 2. So this gets cancelled. That means this will be 3 plus 3. That means there are 6 codes which can be generated using the three alphabets or using three letters which are distinct, right? We have to get this to be 20, or right, and we require how many distinct alphabets are required to make letters or to make codes which serves 20 factories as a code. Now let's start with the option number A. It says that five alphabets or 5 letters if there are. So how many codes can be generated? Can we say that will be 5 single codes plus out of 5 pairs are required. How many pairs can be formed out of 5? 2 are required out of 5. That will be 5C2. What is 5 plus 5C2? That will be 5 plus 5 into 5C2 can be written as 5 times 4 divided by 2. So this is going to be 5 plus 5 into 2, that is 10. That means there are total 15 codes which can be generated using 5 letters. We require 20 codes to be generated. That means this is not going to be the minimum number of the alphabets which are required. Let's understand option B now. What is option B? Whether this one gives 20 codes or not. Option B, 6 alphabets or 6 distinct alphabets are there. So how many letters or how many codes can be generated using 6 alphabets or 6 letters? That is 6 single codes can be generated as 6 codes, and pair, how many pairs can be generated using 6 alphabets or 6 letters? That means out of 6 you have to pick 2. Order does not matter, so it will be 6C2. Applying the formula, 6 plus 6C2 can be written as 6 into 5 divided by 2. Just now we have understood. So this is 6 plus 3 times 5, that is 15. That means 6 plus 15, that is 21. That means overall you require 20 factories or 20 codes. You can generate 21 codes using 6 letters. That means that would be the minimum number which is required to satisfy the codes for 20 such factories. That means option B is the correct answer. So always see to it that you understand the question here was single letters. So how many single letters? If there are n letters, n single codes can be generated, and out of them, if pairs are required, how many pairs can be formed? If n letters are there, 2 are required, so it will be nc2, which we have used here. Or means to add, and we have from the options we have understood that 5 just gives 15, we require 20. Option A eliminated using option B, and that gives us 21 codes, which meets the requirement of 20 codes for those 20 factories. Option B being the correct answer here.